Hello, everyone. This is Rosalind Omaka, and I am at the Houston Comedy Film Festival with special is not even the word anymore. This is the creator, y'all. This is the whole creator. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Mikel Fair, and I'm the creator of the Houston Comedy Film Festival, and we started back in 2008.
And 2008, we're in 2023, almost in 24. Why did you even start all this to begin with? Let's talk about it.
I'll be honest, I was a filmmaker on set, and I worked in the audio department, and I had friends that made short films, and someone told me, hey, I'm going to make a short film. It's 9 minutes long. And I said, why in the world would you make a short movie? Why wouldn't you just make a 100-minute movie and put it in the theater? And they said, well, we create these short films so that we can demonstrate our abilities. And the person who was telling me about it, she was a makeup artist, but she'd written a script. And she said, can you please come help me with my movie? So I said, sure. So I worked on her movie, and then she sent her movie to all these film festivals, and I had no idea what was happening. I thought film festivals were just for long movies. I had no idea they were screening these short movies. And as I went and visited these film festivals to watch her work, I created my own. And it was a comedy. And I went around and I did that as a filmmaker. This was like 2006, 2007. And I said, I can create a film festival.
Why comedy?
So I had a comedy. It was called John the Angry Mover, and it had a lot of profanity in it, and it had drug use in it. You guys were smoking weed and stuff, and it had some potty humor in it. It wasn't appropriate for all ages. It was probably rated.
Sounds amazing.
I took it to this film festival, and they played my film after this documentary about some kid who couldn't get health care and whose lungs were damaged in 9/11 and had to go to Cuba for health care. And it was like this very depressing documentary, and everybody was crying. And at the very end of the documentary, the credits rolled, and the guy flatlined, like, doo, and the guy, like, the kid was dead. And then they showed my movie, this stupid comedy. And everyone who saw my comedy looked at me like, you are an idiot. And I knew at that moment that comedy should play with comedy, because playing movies is a lot like DJing. It's hard to slam the slow track after the fast track and then go back to a slow track. You got to kind of keep the vibe going. So I said, I'm going to open up a festival, but I'm only going to let in comedy because I want comedy. I want people to expect comedy with comedy.
I love it. I respect it. And we already talked about this, but people need to laugh at this time. So if you want to laugh, you need to know about Mikel and everything that he's doing with the Houston Comedy Film Festival.
Thank you. And you know, when I started this in 2008, we were in a recession. Economics were hard. It was hard times. I didn't have a lot of money, but people who showed up lit up. They just loved the comedies. They stayed until the end. It was a great value because you pay like $50 and you're watching like 4.5. I mean, people had to leave. They were exhausted. They were like, had red eyes. We showed so many movies, and I would just show movies till you drop, baby. We ain't stopping these movies. Comedy is important right now. There's a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of very scary things happening. You know, obviously you read the news. I don't have to recap every topic going on. But the filmmakers here are writing something to make you laugh. And that's difficult to do because they're trying to predict what their audience is going to laugh at. And when you come to the Houston Comedy Film Festival, you're testing your product on people to see what their reaction is. Comedy is involuntary laughter, right? With drama, you got to wait all the way until the end and then you get a golf clap, right? But with comedy, people just burst out laughing. If they think it's funny, they're laughing. If they're not laughing, you're like, uh-oh, you know? So
real-time reaction.
Real-time reaction. The only other genre like that is like horror. Like if you're trying to make people vomit or whatever, then you can see that instantly. But with comedy, you're trying to get those laughs. And the independent filmmakers who come here and they make these short films, they're trying to sharpen their craft. They're trying to get better. For example, what if you have a funny part of your film and then there's a joke immediately afterwards, but people are laughing so much at the first joke that they miss the words of the second joke? Then you have to create some spacing. That's called comedic timing. And sometimes when you're in the editing booth, you don't know that's a problem until you get into a theater, and then you're like, okay, there's a problem.
Man, you're coming with all of the knowledge. Are you a coach too?
I try. It's funny you bring that up. We do. Everyone who submits their film to us, the judges fill out a very detailed scorecard about what they thought about your film and the strengths and the weaknesses of your movie. And when you submit to our festivals as a premium option, you can unlock that and read it, and you get your coaching from, because your mom and dad, they're going to tell you your film's great. Your best friend is going to tell you your film's great. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They love you. They're not going to tell you that your film is bad, or they're not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt your feelings. But when you send it to a third party, we give constructive criticism, and we try to give complete criticism. And if you're interested in that, then you can actually see your movie in a different light through someone else's eyes. So hopefully you learned something from that.
And actually, while we're talking, because you get so many movies submitted from you all over the world, are there any do's or don'ts of what you guys are looking for content to make it easier for anyone that wants to submit their work to you?
There are. The number one killer of all independent film across every genre, period, is slow editing. Pacing is important. And there are some people who have invested so much money into every shot that they want to leave every shot on that screen as long as they possibly can. And there's this race to elongate your film. But when you sit in an audience atmosphere, the audience wants you to get to the point. And so slow editing is the number one killer. And slow editing, sometimes, if you've spent so much time with that footage, it's difficult to know if your movie is slow. So you really need to put it in front of the eyes of other people and watch their reactions. You don't want your movie to become a bathroom break, and you don't want your movie to become check my phone. You want them to be engaged.
That was really, really helpful. And thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's in store for 2024, because I know it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger, as there's so many people here, guys, that have flown in from everywhere. Michael has done an amazing job, and I cannot wait for you to stay in touch with them so that way you can be a part two one day. Just saying.
Well, I just want to say I want to thank Bolanle Entertainment for coming down here and for covering this event. I think our partnership is very important. You grow with partners, and the way you put content out and you present content is very respectable, and we enjoy the partnership with your company and having you involved. It gives our festival even a more of a third-party atmosphere to introduce our filmmakers to you and say, we'd like to get some feedback about your film from someone else, and it's not just the festival itself. So thank you for being media. Thank you for your coverage, and appreciate your hard work.
Thank you so much. Okay.